If you're unhappy with your financial advisor, it's time to get a new one. The answer is complicated, and there are many factors to consider when choosing a financial advisor. A financial advisor will be guiding your money for years or even decades, so consider what you should think about before making that decision. Is he or she still a fiduciary? A fiduciary is a person who is legally obligated to act in your best interests. This means they have a duty to disclose any conflicts of interest and always act in your best interest. Unlike other financial professionals like stockbrokers or commission brokers, they are not required to provide you with disclosures about their compensation. If you want someone to be able to give you objective advice without worrying about getting paid more for products that aren't right for you, make sure he or she is acting as a fiduciary. Are your interests still being put first? How do you know if your client's interests are still being put first? The answer is straightforward: ask them. Make sure that before any investment is suggested or advice given, the client has signed off and agrees with the recommendation. This will ensure that there's no confusion later on about what was or wasn't done for them in terms of their best interests. Does your financial advisor have the same relationship with his or her employer as before? The fiduciary rule, which is being rolled out this year, will affect the way financial advisors work. The good news is that it's supposed to make things better for consumers. The bad news is some advisors think it could hurt them and their clients. There are two sides to every story, and the confusion of what's right and wrong in this situation can be overwhelming. If you're wondering how the fiduciary rule affects your advisor, here are 5 things to consider. Does your financial advisor have his or her relationship with his or her employer as before? If so, then he or she may be fine working under the new regulations, which would mean more transparency around fees. If not, well, I'm going to let you figure out where our story goes from here on out. What does your advisor think about the new rule? The fiduciary rule, which goes into effect on June 9th, aims to make sure that brokers and agents act in the best interest of their clients. The rule requires them to disclose more information about potential conflicts of interest and costs associated with their services. Many advisors who currently recommend proprietary products will be forced or incentivized to change their practices. The majority of financial advisors are expected to maintain their status if they simply switch from recommending proprietary products like mutual funds to third-party products like exchange-traded funds. What would happen if the law were struck down in the future? If the fiduciary rule is repealed, financial advisors would not be required to act in your best interest, and they could make recommendations that are not suitable for your needs. There are 2 main reasons you should be concerned about the potential repeal of this rule. One is that it could lead to a decline in the number of people choosing their own financial advisor. The fiduciary rule requires all registered investment advisors, RIAs, to put clients' interests first when providing advice on retirement plans and other investments. RIA cannot accept compensation from product manufacturers or recommend products from which they receive commissions or sales revenue. Without this legal protection, RIA would have free rein over what advice they give their clients. If the fiduciary rule is repealed by the U.S. Congress and President Donald J. Trump signs off on it, financial advisors will be able to charge you hidden fees for services you don't realize you're getting paid for. Financial advisors can charge hidden fees once again if the fiduciary rule is overturned by Congress and the White House approves a repeal of the rule. Financial advisors may direct clients into more expensive products when there are better alternatives available. If your financial advisor isn't working out, it's important to know what other options you have. If your financial advisor isn't working out, it's important to know what other options you have. You can find a new financial advisor or firm, but you may also want to consider looking at other types of advisors who offer more comprehensive services and more tailored solutions for your financial needs. For example, a wealth manager is a hybrid between a financial planner and an investment advisor. They'll help you manage your assets as well as plan for the future. A tax preparer works with clients every year during tax season to ensure they're getting the largest refund possible while minimizing their taxable income. And an estate planning attorney helps individuals create wills and trusts so that their families will be properly cared for after they pass away. You need to be able to trust your financial advisor. If he or she is making poor decisions or isn't putting your interests first, it's time to move on. If you're happy with the service you're getting from your current advisor, there's no reason to make a change just because of this new law. It's important for consumers and for advisors so they can understand what it means for their business. Thank you for watching the video about 5 things to consider if your financial advisor is horrible. Don't forget to subscribe and click the like button to help us grow.